Hello guys, thank you very much for joining in. Hi, this is Ganesh Nayak. I help finance professionals and students to clear their exams like FRM and CFA, and I also help them in their career to make it better and more strong. Now, I'm back with one of the videos where one of my students has been able to clear the exam. So we have today with us Niranjani. She has been able to clear FRM Level 1 exam in the first attempt, and she was on her maternity break, and then she prepared for the FRM Level 1 exam. Okay, so we're going to be having a quick discussion with her, trying to understand what are the challenges that she faced, how she was able to clear, what is the approach, which book she prepared, and everything basically, so that people who are going for their exams in the future can refer to these interviews and try to understand what has been the challenges that other people have faced, how they have been able to cope up with the exam pressure and the challenges. Okay, so with this, we'll start with the interview. Niranjani, thank you very much for joining in, and I really appreciate you taking
Thank you,
out time for
sir.
the community and sharing your journey. Okay, so before we start the discussion, just a quick introduction to the audience. Before starting FRM, what were you doing? What was the status? What was the work experience that you had?
Hi, sir. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my experience with you as well. So I'm a qualified chartered accountant, and I was part of Barclays Investment Bank, and I was
Mhm.
working in Chennai, and then I moved to Singapore, and then I was working till my maternity. So once I took a maternity break, say I think 2019, I took a maternity break from them.
Okay,
So I always wanted to be like a better version of myself. So I took a couple of courses in 2020, and then in 2021 I wanted to level up, and that's when I thought whether I should do something like a international qualification. So that's when I
okay,
thought I would take up FRM, and and that's why I landed up doing FRM.
okay,
So that's in a nutshell, yeah.
okay. And when did you start your preparation for FRM for the May exam?
So for May exam, I approached you in the month of September, and then you had given me a set of video lectures to prepare before the live classes had commenced. So then I think it was in October or November that the live classes had also commenced, and then my preparations had progressed fast from October. Like once the live classes had also been in progress. So I think
Okay,
started in September, and then I prepared for the May exams.
okay. Now, when you started the preparation, you must have seen the books, right? So, which
Yes.
book you were using for preparing? Was it GARP, Swedger, Binding Turtle?
So I was only using Special that was suggested by you, and also your materials that really helped me to progress in the initial stages. And before the exams, since there is this rapid thing going on before exams, whether you refer this book or that book, I also tried approaching other books, like Bionic Turtle, and tried solving all the questions and all that. But I felt
Mhm.
that it was more confusing and it was also making me more tensed. Okay, so I thought
Okay,
I'll rather focus on something that I know I clearly know and I've been clearly prepared for during my preparation rather than putting into something that is completely new before exam. So it's better to be strong in something that you already know and you want to be clear with rather than starting
okay,
something new before the exam. So I think that's the strategy like you need to work for when you decide to start preparations and not when you start
Hmm.
to do your mock papers and question sample papers before the exam. So that's not something to start before the exams. And I think the book itself is so intensive that you will definitely not be able to cover before the exam. So
Right.
you might as well stick on to one material and read it properly and be more confident, and clear before appearing for the exams.
The reason I asked you this question because many a times people, the students, when they reach out to me, they read a lot of things online on Quora and they say why we should also prepare from Bionic Turtle. So my answer is very
Yeah.
simple: complete Swagger first, and then if you have time, then you can explore anything. There is no problem with that. Now, when you start, you were part of my live online batch. Okay. Now
Yes.
the process that we followed, and I want to get a feedback also from this.
Hmm.
You got the videos first, you attended the lecture later. Okay. And the
Yeah.
basic idea of the video was that you identify your doubts and then come to the lecture.
Mm.
Was this helping you in any way? Because you had a gap, right? So primarily you're not working. So you're not continuously in the flow
Yeah.
of learning in your work also. So what was that?
Correct.
Was it beneficial for you, or how different it was for you?
So I would say it was truly, truly beneficial because what happens is all the subjects and all the chapters that are covered as a part of the syllabus definitely you will not be aware of it. So there will be a
Mhm.
lot of topics where you have to know in depth. So when I listen to your video lectures before coming in for the live classes, it's like I'm
Mhm.
already familiar with what is going to come for me in the live classes. So once
Okay.
I enter into live classes, it gives me better clarity over the subject first. And then it also goes into clearing the doubts then and there, so that when you're done with the live classes and you've already done the video lectures before, it's like I'm done for the chapter. I know that
Okay.
chapter quite well. So I just have to improvise more on that. So why I'm specifically saying this is I had this problem with statistics. So I'm not a person from a statistical background.
Okay.
So it was very difficult for me to understand the statistical concept. So even when I listened to your video lectures, I was like, I'm done. I don't understand a single thing. But then I
Mhm.
did not stop. I continuously, repeatedly, it was like 3 times I listened to your video lectures before entering the live classes. And then I came into the live classes. I understood it so well. So that's when I realized that you
Okay.
might not understand even in video lectures, but when you come into the live classes, ask questions or listen to other people's questions, you get more clarity and you also get that confidence. It's fine that you've not understood, but at least now
Mhm.
you've got that clarity and confidence. So it can happen to subjects where you're completely new to that area of field. So that really
Okay.
happened in book two for me.
Okay. Wonderful. Because a lot of people are afraid of book two. They are
Yeah,
afraid that
I know that.
they're
Yeah,
afraid that it's heavy, it's so quantitative, and right.
yeah,
So that is one purpose of giving the video, that you make yourself familiarized.
correct.
Now, so from October, for example, you started your preparation. How much time you were
Yeah.
giving on a single day?
So for me, I always believe in consistency. So that's always been my formula till now. So every day, 1 or 2 hours, come what may, whatever happens in that day, that 2 hours I always dedicated to studying. So my
Okay.
way of preparation was before the live classes, I prepared all the, I was able to cover at least a part of book one, like the
Mhm.
schedule that you had given before coming into the classes. So while listening to your video lectures, I will take my own notes. And then when I come into the live classes, I will make
Mhm.
sure that I read line by line the book material. So I have my notes already there, and then I'll read the
Okay.
book material. So that gives me more clarity, and also I always believe that when I write, I'll be able to understand and remember it better. So it
Hmm.
helped me both ways. So I know the book as well, and also have my notes that I can carry it along with for my preparation. So that's how it progressed.
Okay. And primarily, when you started your preparation, so apart from statistics, any other book that you were kind of afraid of, or were kind of nervous, or is it only statistics
Yes,
that
sir. No, book two and book four. So book four, where
okay.
VAR and all the other concepts come in, it was extremely scary. But I think repeated listening of your video lectures. So I was on your video lectures till the month of February. So
Hmm.
completely, I was I kept on repeating all the video lectures again and again and again. That gave me a lot of clarity because that brought up a lot of questions. So I tried to
Hmm.
question myself in all the different ways. So why is this question solved in this particular way? Why can't it be solved in the other way?
Hmm.
But all this helped
Okay.
during my exam. So that is a point that I really want to say, because unless you
Okay.
have that kind of clarity during the exam, if you start questioning yourself, why can't it be the other way, then you're done. So I think you better question yourself before, so that you get really good clarity and confidence over that particular subject. So even if it's just one topic, you have like 100% confidence in that. So that
Right.
was my way of preparation, especially for book two and book four. So book four was more of a smart work, I would say. I knew that these are all the topics that might get tested. So first I made myself confident on that. And then
Hmm.
I covered the remaining, other parts of the book four. That's how my strategy was for book four. But book
Okay.
two, I think once I listened to all the video lectures, that became my favorite book actually before the exam. It was so
Okay.
much like I was able to do with ease. So I was waiting for answering statistics questions in the exam. So that's how it happened.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. I'm very, very happy while listening to that. That book, people are loving book two.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
apart from that, what were the see what are the challenges that you have faced as a candidate for the exam who was on a break, right? So what was the issue? Because now reason I'm asking you this specifically, because people who are going to be watching this video, the first thing that they will
Mhm.
that will come to their mind is she has a lot of time. Okay.
Correct.
And it is the
Yeah.
easiest. what do you say, easiest excuse any working professional can give.
Definitely.
Okay, so, and I basically tell this to everybody: if she has time, okay, and you do not have time, you have to fight your own battle. You cannot compare
Yeah,
every time that somebody else is privileged in certain way, and she
right.
or he can only clear the exam, and I cannot do that. So indirectly, you are actually judging your own ability, frankly speaking. So
Yeah.
I don't really like people saying that okay, somebody, because people have different set of challenges. So what were your challenges that can help them to understand?
So, okay. So the first challenge is being a mother. So I had to take full time care of my kid. So my kid was all along with me during the preparation. She exactly even fell sick. 1 week, 2 weeks before the exam. So how I used to
Oh,
solve mock papers is I used to keep me next to her on my lap, and then on the right hand side I used to solve mock papers, and then I used to
okay.
engage her simultaneously. So my thing is I don't like giving excuses. Everybody has their own set of battles. As you already told, everybody has some or the other problem, whether you're working, not working. Not working is also as difficult as working, I would say,
Hmm.
because you have the entire responsibility of the family on you. Because people say, okay, fine, you're just sitting at home, why did you take care of your kid? But I personally had aspirations to fulfill. So I just don't wanted to give you excuse. Okay, fine, I'm a mother, I have to take care of the kid, I don't want to do any
Hmm,
other
hmm,
thing.
hmm.
So I always constantly challenge myself. So that's when I feel that you will always see the better version of you when you challenge yourself. So
Yeah.
I actually, how I used to prepare is I used to make my kids sleep at 10:30 and 11 in the night, and then I used to prepare till 2 o'clock. So that's when I get my me time.
Okay.
And I really love studying. So when someone is putting so much of effort for teaching, I feel it's my responsibility that I also put my 100% effort. So I think that was also a really motivating factor, because I used to be in constant touch with you. You used to guide me on how to prepare. So I really wanted to justify the time that you are taking, for the students, and spending your time in clearing our doubts as well. So I always feel that it's our responsibility to study for the teacher as well, to an extent. So that's always been my way of
Thank you.
learning, and and studying. So that's how I used to prepare. So even the live lectures, it used to happen in India time. So in Singapore, it would already be 11 o'clock when the live lectures start, and it ends by like 1:30. But I
Hmm.
used to thoroughly enjoy it, because I felt it was my time, that I'm actually enjoying this. I'm
Hmm,
actually
hmm.
learning something new today. So I think if you are ready to motivate yourself, irrespective of whatever the situation you are, when you get that excitement on studying, nothing matters. So
It is
I
always
mean,
about being in the flow. Once you get into the
yeah,
flow, it becomes very easy.
yeah, as she really says. So I think nothing matters, because at least while working, you are under someone. You can actually explain that that you have something to study. But what can you explain to a 2-year-old kid? So she does not know that I'm actually studying, or I'm
And
doing something.
also,
So
being a mother and managing kids is not easy. It's not
yeah,
easy. I mean,
it is.
be it today, be it 10 years back, it was never easy. And doing something
Yeah,
along with it. And also, when you're not working, you have doubts in your mind.
exactly.
Will this
Correct.
clear? If it is not going to clear, what will
Yeah,
happen? Will I get job? There's
yeah,
so many things. I mean,
yeah,
it is actually, it breaks down a person. So
yeah.
definitely managing your motivation during that period is really tough. Now, when you were preparing for 2 hours every single day, how much? When did you complete? So what was your strategy? You completed everything first, your chapters first, and then you started solving, or was it simultaneously along with few chapters?
So I first completed everything.
Hmm,
I completed all my portions by December. Of course, I was
hmm,
not confident on everything, but I made sure that I actually know what is there in the book, and I have read through the book. So I did not focus too much on understanding, because definitely there were concepts that I had not understood straight away. So, but I still made sure that I read all these subjects. So, and then only in January I started solving few question banks, and then that was
hmm.
given by you, and that made a lot of difference, because all your understanding will be questioned once you solve the
Yes,
question bank. So
right.
that's when the real preparation starts. That's what happened in January. So, and then that's when I started. But February I was not able to do any of the preparation, because the entire family was down with COVID, so we were not able to
Hmm.
do anything. But instead what
Okay.
I did was I used that time to read more of stats and get confident in book two. I think that was the best decision that I took then. What I did was I just attended your live lectures. So I used to like just listen and roam around, do all my work. I was just listening only to the live lectures. And by the time by March, when I just picked up the question bank, I felt that it made a lot of difference. That just 1.5 months, 1.5 months, like January 15 to Feb end, I focused only on book two. So I was really
Yeah.
scared but then I wanted to do something irrespective of the situation. That's when I finished book two thoroughly. And by March, I was so confident with book two, and book three was already easy for me. So I just had like book one and four. And since
Hmm.
book one was only theory, I finished all the three books by March. And in April, by 15 days, I was able to clear book four. So, and I finished all my preparations by mid of April. And then after
In
that, I
terms of
only
solving,
focused on,
in terms of the solving of the
yeah, in
chapter wise
terms of
question.
solve.
Okay.
Yes,
So
yes,
even
yes.
though even though you were able to complete your videos and everything by December, because of
Yeah.
some unfortunate event, the the 2 months primarily you could not devote properly,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So primarily it helped you to start early and make
Yeah.
yourself comfortable, or else if you would have been very difficult spot if you would have
Yes,
not
definitely.
completed, right? And with respect to the reading of the Swedger, so how many times you
Yeah.
would have seen the Swedger book? You would have
Four
covered reading
times.
4 times.
I
Okay.
covered reading four times. So whenever I get time, even if it is 15 minutes in the morning before
Mm.
I go into the mother mode and cooking mode, 15 minutes I
Mm.
used to revise one chapter, then go back. So whenever I used to get that time, I made sure that I sat and revised one chapter here and there. So I was very familiar with the book. So that's what made me, give more confidence. And it also arose a lot of different questions that I could ask you or ask in the Telegram group. That also really helped me, because you will see a lot of people preparing as well. I personally feel everybody was committed. So when I see the Telegram group, everybody was posting their own set of questions, and suddenly
Right.
someone will post a question from a different book. You will get, okay, fine, I've not read this. Okay, let me go read that particular question and
Right.
concept and
Right.
get
Right.
myself
Right.
familiar.
So
So that's how it was.
now, when with respect to the uh, so you were able to solve the sectional test, the mock papers properly.
Yeah.
You did
Yes.
that. How
Yes.
much was the average score you were getting in my mocks?
I was getting around 73 to 74. So that was
Okay.
always been my, average when I was
That's a
able
very good
to.
number. That's a very good number, actually.
Okay. Because I think solving your question bank, sir, I even saw, I'm not exaggerating. I was very sure that certain questions were picked directly from the question bank when I saw it in the exam. So my exam was pretty tough, but there
Okay.
were definitely 5 or 6 questions that were directly from the question. So even while
Okay.
solving the question bank, I made sure which are all the chapters that had extremely unique set of questions. So I noted all them down, and before the exam, I was able to revise all that, and only those unique set of questions among those got repeated in the exam. The same wording without any change got
When you said
repeated. Five to
unique,
six
unique in
questions.
the sense means very different. I mean, in the sense, not you
Yeah.
don't have don't have a similar concept in textbook, something like that.
No, you will have a concept, but you will not expect that kind of a question to be tested based,
Oh,
based
okay.
on that concept. So especially like
Okay.
credit derivatives and all that. So that was a quite, surprising thing that when I saw it in the exam. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. And now, what happened on the day of the exam?
I think the paper was quite tough, and I was able to figure out within 10-15 minutes of going through the exam itself. I knew that this is the most difficult paper, but then I knew that I believed in my preparation, and then I tried to stay calm as possible. And then whatever questions that I know for sure that I can attempt, nothing was like straightforward. Okay, fine, this is the answer. Not a single question in my paper was like that. So everything had to be practically applied. So, but I was remaining calm. I think that was the key for that particular paper. So you're already there in the exam. You can't do much. At least give your best based on whatever you have prepared. So
Right.
that was the mantra that kept going on till the end of the paper. But then when I revisited, I got some confidence. It was actually pretty well. At least we were able to gauge which could be the wrong answer. So everything was this elimination strategy that you keep repeating, in your classes. Like
Mhm.
first go for the elimination strategy. That really helped, because once you eliminate, you will definitely be stuck with two answers. And based on your preparations and you would have solved like 4,000 questions literally before going to the exam. That will give you that presence of mind to eliminate the wrong answer and select the right answer. You might not be confident, but yet you will be selecting the right answer. So that I think that's what happened when I got the results as well. I think that really played an important role.
Okay, okay, interesting. And when you came out of the exam, okay, so how many theory questions were there in the exam? Around number.
So there were a lot of theory questions, maybe around 60 questions, 50 to 60 questions out of 100 were definitely theory, but it was conceptual theory. So is theory not means like a straight, what is this or what is that? It
Yes.
was applied theory.
And the
That's how I would call it as.
calculation was easy. The rest 40.
Calculation was straightforward. If you know the formula, you can just plug in and play, and you will definitely able to get it. But that was also a challenge because you will remember so many formulas, and once you pen down the formula on the day of exam, there are chances that you might not be able to crack it. So that's when your explanation comes into play. You repeatedly say that this Black-Scholes has time and volatility. So what could be that? Your common sense also plays based on that. And then because I forgot Black-Scholes formula on the day of exam, it was I was not able to get it. And then I felt so bad. But then I was able to grasp the concept that you had taught, and then I applied it and I got the answer that was closer. Yeah.
So you were able to solve everything in that 4 hour properly?
Yes, I was able to complete everything.
Okay. And after the exam, when you came out, what was the number that you had in your mind? That okay, this might be the final answer. This might be the score that I might get.
Yeah, I was expecting around 50 to 60, but it was still a chance because I could not even gauge my performance because it was not like straight. I know this answer. This was for sure correct. I was not able to gauge my performance, but I was confident. I did a decent job, so it was not very bad. For sure I'm not able to do it, but I felt that I applied it really well and it did a decent job. I did not expect to clear though, but I felt that okay, fine. This is the best I could have given, in an exam like this. So all my
Okay.
conceptual understanding and preparations definitely came into picture then.
Okay. 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 Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, after the exam, what has been the reaction of people around you?
It's been really good, sir, because FRM, as everybody knows, is not a very easy exam to clear, but it's not impossible as well. So I think such a qualification is really a crown on my cap because career break or maternity break is something that I've not taken as an excuse to stop myself from upgrading. So I think it really gives me that confidence to go back and start my career as well, because I'm not outdated. I've actually, improved from what I was, few years back.
Right.
So I think your motivation to start, because you always say that if not now, never. So that was always, I think, a very valid thing to carry forward. If not now, then never. Definitely, it is something that
Right. Right.
I know
And
I had it in my mind.
what would be the 3 tips that you would give to the student who are preparing for the FRM level now?
First is consistency. Every day, come what may, at least 1 or 2 hours. Then second is to follow your notes and your video lectures and the question banks that you give. I can rest assured that 80% once you do that, you will clear for sure. That remaining only 20% is the effort that needs to be done from our side. And 3 is to practice. Practice as much as possible. Once the question bank solving starts, I think repeatedly practicing that would definitely help. But I think your guidance is the best, because I have been into a professional course before as well. So your kind of teaching is like holding the child and walking till the day they clear. That's how your preparation and your materials, where you gave a tracker, you literally spoon fed everything. All that we had to do is come into the class, just show up and listen. So that's the only effort that needs to be taken from our side. I think the rest, everything is taken care by you and your classes. I'm not exaggerating. It's really a fact that needs to be registered here. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for this. And I really appreciate
Thanks,
that
sir.
you taking out time and giving this description of your journey, challenges that you faced in helping others to know how to prepare for the exam. And this is going to be motivation for other students also. So definitely this interview is going to be very useful for them. And I thank you for taking out time. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity as well, sir. Thank you.